The day of the hairy freak or the fat slob is practically gone.
Let the party begin. I've got snacks.
Hello, look at us. We did it again. Another 7 days round the sun. This is WCW Deep Cuts Live. My name is Tom. My name's right there. And I'm working with very limited light tonight. Just seconds before we went live, my makeshift light went out. So tonight I have this lamp. I will be hopefully getting a new light before we go live next week. But for right now, this is what I have. This is my lamp. We'll make it through. Very dark. Very, very dark and spooky. And welcome to WCW Deep Cuts Live, where every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, we gather to watch the quote-unquote forgotten television classics from the vault to the archives. World Championship Wrestling in the 1990s. Hello to everybody in the Erotic Eric Fontaine fan club, aka the chat. Hope y'all are having a good evening so far, knock on wood. Nothing wrong with the stream thus far, so hopefully our problems have finally been solved. The Tuesday curse is finally over with. So hopefully, yeah. Sorry, I missed a conversation here. Sorry. All right. So anyway, speaking of folks, special shout out, thank you to the members of the Weirdo Empire. It's getting to be so many that unless anybody's really going to throw a protest, I think I'm going to throw the names up, but from here on out, I'm just going to give a shout out to any new folks. Just because there's so many names, because you all are so freaking supportive. So supportive of me. Shout out to our newest member, Freeman Lacroix. Might be a Frenchman. And if so, need to find out how he likes his hard bread. So thank you everyone in the Weirdo Empire for supporting me, putting dollars out, helping me out, helping my content out. They are great, as are you, the viewer. Speaking of being a viewer, since you're a viewer, if you want to keep the chat going on Tuesday nights, join my Discord, tinyurl.com/Discord for Tom Green. I was able to let everybody know that there maybe wasn't going to be a stream tonight, because up until a couple hours ago, I did not have internet. The internet was down at my house. Very, very, very frustrating. But it is here. And no, I don't have a new camera. It's just the lighting. This is the same camera I've had for almost a year now, I want to say. I think it's just the mood lighting I got going on here. But thank you for pointing that out. Goes to Burt Burness and the kind words. Also, check out my first long form video I put up Monday morning. Some WCW jobbers that I love. I made a 10-minute video about some of the folks who made the best, looked the best on WCW TV throughout the 90s, including a couple of favorites of the EEFOC, or the EEFFC. I'm not good with abbreviations. Like the Cajun Predator. And I gave an update, a life update on what's going on with Lee Scott these days. that a lot of folks seem very intrigued by. I'm very happy. Dom is too sweet. Throw it up. Poop. Poop. It's not a reel. It's a full long video. It's 10 minutes long. Check it out on my YouTube channel. Very happy. 10,000 views. A lot of my reels, my shorts do very well. I was afraid that doing a long form video would not work. Turns out it worked. So expect more of those probably every 3 or 4 weeks or so. So yeah, without any further ado, it's been 6 minutes. We haven't watched a damn second of wrestling. We gotta go back. The year is 1991. The month is May. Getting ready for Super Brawl. We're gonna go visit our friends in Chicago for WCW Pro Wrestling. Let's go.
Fans, we've all seen the match from Japan. Nature Boy Ric Flair was
No, we haven't.
However, the referee
This is 1991.
knocked down, and he saw Tatsumi Fujinami throw Nature Boy Ric Flair
Like
over the
1%
top
of your
rope
audience
and
is tape
immediate
trading, dog.
disqualification. We're going to hear from Bill Alfonso, but first, let's take you back once again to
The
Japan.
glowing eyes and the
Final moments
smoke
of
are
this
what
very
really make the
controversial
Vader
match
home.
between Nature Boy Ric Flair and the IWGP champion Tatsumi Fujinami. Right now, fans, let's go to the videotape.
You know, a guy who's
Especially his text messages. Here we go.
Josh. Now,
Jack
this guy's
Brickhouse.
right out of Paul Bunyan. He's a logger from the Pacific Northwest. He's legitimate as a logger. However, what happened was, a little while back, he's got a pal named Tommy Rich. We all know Tommy. And Tommy was engaged in a rough wrestling match, and all of a sudden this guy couldn't contain himself. He came out of the stands as a spectator, got in the ring to help Tommy. He just couldn't help it because he thought his pal was in trouble. Well, with that move he made, he moved into a wrestling career, believe it or not.
Believe it or
Didn't expect
not.
to, but here he is now. He's not scientific, but he's got that big double axe handle blow that really could wipe a mountain out.
Rich is the youngest guy
He's
he's
the kind
ever
of guy you want on
met.
your side when the trouble starts. He's 6'2", 250, and he's going to be a
Oh, he's reading off of
All
something.
91, he's going to face Big Mouth Larry Zbyszko. Larry Zbyszko. I wondered what happened to that guy. And this is a Brick House bonus.
Okay, first off, legit logger. Jack Brickhouse assuring shit.
Step into the ring and take on Sting.
Yo, yo, yo. We got a hype train. Grandomaniac, thank you so much.
Tag team around the Steiner brothers. These WCW action figures are
Love
just
these
as tough
subs.
and as mean as we are.
Yeah. All those guys in the Missy Hyatt just has to. Oh shit! Haven't gotten my period yet. She gets everybody's wallets out. What? Episodes of Pro tonight. This is like the coolest WCW looked in this era. Like, it's insane that they were capable of making an ad that looked that good and then just didn't. Yeah, we got 3 episodes of Pro.
Now, you're playing with power.
No jam, and I guess he is on the show. I'd love to go back to the 90s. I wouldn't have to pay bills.
Tremendous program this week. We'll see in action the one-man gang.
Larry's shirt calmed the fuck down this week.
Super Brawl in 1 week, exclusively on pay-per-view, and Larry Z on your legend.
Larry Z.
You have Barry Windham.
You know, Barry Windham's going to be my guest, and as we all know, he has been literally haunted by this.
He's been literally haunted.
Brian Tillman. Hey, what's up, Tony? My money's on Barry Windham.
Barry Windham, much like Tegan and Sarah, is walking with a ghost. Larry about to head to the Regal Beagle to try to pick up Janet.
And fans, also this week, we're going to see beautiful
Hey, Jack.
Bobby versus Super Brawl. He's going after the World Television title.
Yeah, and you know my money is on my friend Arn Anderson.
And we have
My Fred.
program this week with all the top superstars of World Championship Wrestling. Fans, let's go to the ring.
All right, we're starting off with Sting. Sting and Lex. Getting ready for that great tag match. Down, bow, bow. God, they look so cool. That's like the peak of coolness in America right there. Oh, Carl Robinson and Paul Lee. The man who once paid Ric Flair over $10,000. I think 15. to come to an indie show and induct him as the newest Nature Boy. No, you stick it. There was also WCW Pro New York. Paulie Dangerously hosted it.
My brother and I come out here. We got the week saying what we're gonna do May 19th.
Rick Steiner looking very comfortable with that red hat with white text on it.
They pay us to fight. They pay get in the ring, beat somebody up. That's what we do.
Making
You know what?
WCW great
We don't
again.
care. What you are is another thing on the Steiner menu. Get on, Scotty.
Steiner menu.
It is going to be
SWPIX, where Paulie would often make very off-color jokes about local politicians.
Lee tried to pick him up, but Sting holds tight, and there to the eyes again.
Sting saw that coming, Giovanni, and when you notice he put his feet down.
I think
he
Trump
lowered his
saw
center of
Paul
gravity
Lee
at
and
the
was
right
inspired.
time, making his weight, virtually.
were they trying to eliminate him from a battle royal? Everything on the Steiner menu is $9,000. That hidden expense for a card. Carl Robinson, that's a great enhancement guy right there. I absolutely do. If Scott Steiner's son gets all the way through developmental, I absolutely think we're getting a new Steiner's team. But that is a big if Scott Steiner's kid gets through developmental. God, he's huge.
You got to give them both credit, Tony Sting and Lex Luger, both in incredible physical condition.
I get that
They
reference,
both
Christopher
have
Street.
devoted their lifetime to being athletes.
Where all the
That's
fellas
what
hang
carry
out.
you to that big money in the top of World Championship Wrestling.
That's exactly right.
Believe me, I know.
Is Carl Robertson old enough? If you see his face, he looks like he's 50.
Everybody wants a crack at your reputation.
He's an old man with a little boy body.
The arm of Robertson now. Luger, the total package. Out of Chicago. Hometown boy
He looks like
here.
what's his face from King of the Hill.
And he goes right to work on the arm once again. Here's the tag.
Luger appears to be beating the janitor. My opinion on the purchase of AAA is that it is bad. Very bad.
Well, you've got to realize Super Brawl coming up. No one's going to go out and hurt themselves.
It's going to be just like the UK scene, just like the territories.
Not only that, Sting and Luger here basically
Holy shit, Brian.
don't have the competition.
If
Virtually
Burt Prentice knew what Christopher Street was,
a piece of paper.
I guarantee you he would have called himself Christopher Street.
Here are your winners, Sting and the total package, Lex Luger.
I love that Carl Robertson was like convulsing after he landed too. Like he had aftershocks from torture rack. Whee!
Well, just looking at these two guys, physically speaking,
Buddy Landell lost to Eddie Gilbert in the TWA last week. He's not in action anywhere this week. I assume he's in a hotel room somewhere.
hooks that neck, that puts on all the pressure on the lower back. Hook right around the chin. Good execution.
That's maybe the most violent that Lex Luger ever applied the torture rack. He's normally very gentle with that. That dude, however, he bent.
World Championship.
Oh, Heyman.
Returns to the Civic Center.
Never been to the Civic Center, but I have been to the Armory.
Super Summer says
It's a piece of shit.
91. It's Wednesday, June 5th, 7:30 p.m. at the Civic Center. The main event, the U.S. Heavyweight Title match, hitting the total package.
The way they did the graphic, it looks like his name is One Man Gang Sullivan.
Wednesday night at the Civic Center. Wildfire. Tommy
Oh
Rich
shit, come out on the Hammond for Tommy Rich versus Jack Victory. It's the semi-main event.
Daddy Dick ringside. Z-Man will enter the
Oz
ring to take on
Sullivan.
Oz. And in a cage match, Ron
That's fine.
Simmons will battle Butch Reed.
Marty was probably there. I'm Marty DeRosa.
Heavyweight title match, the total package against the one-man
Now that
gang.
is a
Wednesday, June
shitty
5th,
card.
7:30 p.m. at the Civic Center
And it's
in
not,
Hammond.
they weren't running split crews.
Get great tickets at
I
the
just
Civic
think
Center
they
in Hammond. Be there
got
at 7:30
a
for
shitty
a
show.
World Championship Wrestling Super Summer Sizzler Tour 91.
Super Summer Sizzler Tour.
You ever wondered what Oz really looks like? Find out Sunday, May 19th, WCW Super Brawl 91, only on...
Didn't we see it in the movie?
All right, fans, one of the great events you'll see during Super Brawl exclusively on pay-per-view in 1 week, next Sunday, that is, you will see 7'7"
Again, like Kevin Nash said when he was pitched the gimmick, isn't Oz a geographic region?
Put on a stretcher. What an event it will be. Of course, El Gigante
WCW Oz.
World Championship Wrestling
Sid
since his
Vicious
appearance
shanking
less than a
people.
year ago. Let's now take you back 1 week ago on one of our programs, how this big guy surprised Sid Vicious.
Here we go. Fans know it. Look at him. Power bomb.
Ooh, okay, that was a lot more gentle. I think it's Scott Sandlin was the opponent. That's my mental illness. I recognize who Scott Sandlin is. I think Kevin said he still has the mask. I swear I've heard him say in the last few years he has. Either he has. No. Conrad has the mask. Because there was a weird deal between the two of them. Because I've heard both of them bury the other for how that trade-off went. Look at the guy in the front row wearing the baggy-ass green Zubaz. Also, way to put the 7-foot road agent in the ring to stand with El Gigante and just make him look like a tall guy, not a giant. Fucking WCW.
The following contest is set for one fall. Introducing from Argentina, 410 pounds, the largest athlete in the world, El Gigante.
Could you imagine showing up for like your proctology exam and El Gigante's there?
7'7" El Gigante, and we've just seen
Jim Boss. Hey, he didn't wrestle last week. What the fuck's all over his body? You have a rash? I think he caught something from Jimmy Garvin. What? I love how he went for like a lockup on a normal-sized guy, and it just didn't work. Yeah, Jim Boss was a regular in WCW TV, on WCW TV, while Jim Ross was there.
The man that's been putting everybody on a stretcher. So it's going to be the whole Super Bowl.
At least here they found the shortest enhancement guy in the locker room. It didn't send out freaking Kevin Nash to wrestle.
Stretcher match. Take this match with Barry Windham and Pillman. I got Barry Windham coming up later on. Barry Z's legend. Look at the size of this man. Sid Vicious.
Jim Boss either invented kinesio tape or nipple herpes.
in English, the giant. I think there's no doubt he is the
No way. I don't want to be down on my knees with that guy standing over me saying, no way. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, thank God he is the size of, like, a small tower. Because he was holding him upside down by the lower back. He's in the ropes, Bill. What is up with nobody in this era knowing what the fuck a rope break was? No moss. No moss. No moss for Jim Boss.
Well, I'd hate to be Mr. Boss right here, but man, he just...
Mr. Boss.
Meets City Deontay. And right there with the claw, Tony, he gets the size of that man's hand. We put so much pressure directly into those temples. You can black
Well, I think the problem is not many guys could do a one-hand power slam. Like, you have to have arms that long to be able to hold a guy like that with your arm. You know? Now you're playing with your balls. I didn't have a joke there. Yeah, Nick Patrick's is very self-conscious about rope breaks. Tony Gilliam looks like a kid dressed up like a kid dressed up as an adult to go see an R-rated movie. Tom Burton, UWFI star Tom Burton, aka Tom Burke.
It's on Sunday, May 19th. It'll start 6 o'clock here, Chicago time.
Nick Patrick, the referee, he's already off camera because he cannot get away from the ropes. Alright, now it's just 3 kids in a tux stacked on top of each other. Bump it, man. There appears to be like an office on the second level.
I got that.
Very good of him, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was something else.
The fireman's carry there by Dustin Rhodes. But let me tell you something about Terry Taylor and Alexandria.
I could see that a little bit.
Let's say you go into
Also, real brave of him to wear
wave your gold
white
card around,
tights.
you'll discover the integrity of womanhood. For the most vicious
Yeah, Nick Patrick did take the stink face. I think it was on an episode of SmackDown.
And believe me, Terry Taylor
2001 is kind of his like initiation.
one big test for the natural Dustin Rhodes.
Oh, there we go.
Of course, Dustin Rhodes, with the name of the natural, has been a tremendous star. World
Oh yeah, Tony
champion
Gillum was
since his arrival.
stud.
And he'll put that ability against the computer knowledge of Alexandra York and her ability to really
Yeah, Dustin not only is still wrestling, but if you ask me, I think he's gonna get a match at All In this year. I think he's getting like an ROH World Title match on that show.
I don't know if that could be just a natural ability, which he does have, or it's his mission. His mission. What do you think his mission would be? Oh, come on. That natural.
Yeah, Dustin fucking rules. I think he's legit one of the best wrestlers of his era. And he was in multiple eras.
Or it can break him.
I don't know if haunting's the correct word here. If it would be haunting him, then he wouldn't perform.
Every day you're worried about letting the fans.
I think that's what the ROH belt's gonna be for him. Alright, Estrafega, have a good night.
Obviously. So, it's hard for you to appreciate that.
Stay safe yourself, my man.
Right to the arm.
Your wrist.
Right to the arm.
Yeah, Dustin, once he figured it out, he locked in.
Pressure put on the arm of
Yeah, Dustin already has 2 belts. I think he's going to win the ROH World Title at All In.
Dustin Rhodes. Of course, we've talked about Alexandria
Unify all of
York and
them.
Terrence Taylor, but don't forget that the big
I might too,
will
man.
be at ringside also.
I love Dustin. If Dustin wins a title, a singles title, in Texas, in front of a stadium crowd, and gets his flowers, man,
Into the corner.
nothing better. There we go, Bulldog.
Right out of nowhere. Got it.
There we go.
Dustin Rhodes gets a win, and now from
Terry Taylor's like, I read the Wrestling Observer today.
he is not waiting now.
Dustin Rhodes' days, Tony. He kicked him right in the face. There's York and Hughes.
Yeah, the ROH belt's just kind of there. Like, I have no fucking idea why Bandito has it right now. But
He's going to try to put a pile driver on it. Look at Alex.
like, I like Bandito. It's just weird.
No, sir.
Oh, is this happening in a mall? It might be. That's what it looks like. Like they just set up some bleachers. Oh, the Cobb County Fairgrounds is where it's happening. Terry might. I think Dix and Chris Zellner have that theory from when they did their Dustin Patreon show and when they just did the recent Terry Taylor Patreon show. That it certainly sounds like Terry Taylor and Brian Pillman were like shitting all over Dustin, the Meltzer, because they saw him as competition. He would look like an assistant principal.
Super Brawl Control Center update.
Like a creepy
First of all,
one.
let me remind you, it's only 1 week away.
First of all, let me remind you,
Sunday
I
night,
am
May
an alive
19th,
being
St.
and not a
Petersburg at the
taxidermied
Bayfront
corpse.
Center exclusively on pay-per-view. Call your cable operators
Blah,
now and
blah,
place your
blah,
order.
blah.
Let's run down the entire card. Big Josh from the Northwest takes on the living legend Larry Zbyszko. Ricky Morton goes up against Dangerous Dan Spivey. Tim Horner faces Oz, 6'10",
Faces
330
question
pounds.
mark.
And then
We
for the
don't
US Tag
know.
Team Championship, it will be
Pickled.
the Young Pistols
Pickled,
against the
yes.
Fabulous Freebirds. Tommy Rich, former world champion, faces Nikita Koloff.
God, look at
The
that
Natural
fit on
Dustin
Tommy.
Rhodes goes up against the computerized wrestler of the 90s, Terrence Taylor. Beautiful Bobby in a world TV title match against Arn Anderson.
Did you turn down that light, man?
Disqualification, Brian Pillman against Barry Windham. There will be a Diamond Mine with Diamond Dallas Page. Also, Missy Hyatt will be on.
Yeah, let's
hand.
advertise
And
the
stretcher
promo
match will be
segment
Elegante
on this
against
14-match
Sid
show.
Vicious. Lex Luger and Sting take on the Steiners for the World Tag Team
I think he didn't get a
Championship.
fancy
In a
name because he was just
Thunderdome match,
Mr.
Lights out in a steel cage. Butch Reed against Ron Simmons. Teddy Long will be suspended above the ring.
Yeah,
in
if I
another
remember
steel
correctly,
cage.
only
And
2
then
matches on that
return
show.
from the Rising Sun as
Went over 10
Matsumi
minutes.
Fujinami faces Ric Flair for the World Heavyweight Championship.
WCW,
Remember, that's
with the
Sunday
clashes
night,
and with
May
some of the
19th.
pay-per-views, had a real bad
Pay-per-view
habit
only.
of just
Now, let's listen to these
cramming
comments from the Steiner
so
brothers
many
and
matches on these shows.
Sting and Lex. You wanted to take us on. You made a big mistake.
That's why, like, if you watch the VHS releases of the shows, half the matches are edited off.
We're gladiators. We get in the ring and we fight.
Gladiators.
What we like to do. You want to beat us?
At least he turned the hat, the red and white hat, backwards.
Stinging legs. All right.
Okay, now turn the racist hat around. Cut another one.
Japanese international champions. Super Brawl. We're coming after you. You know, the time clock's
I don't know why I just
down. 1
choked.
week away, the adrenaline's starting to flow. The first time ever, the Steiners versus the Total Package and the Stinger. The Steiner line versus the Rock. The Frankensteiner versus the Scorpion. What's it going to be? Nobody knows. We know there's going to be a gigantic explosion coming down the Bayfront Center just 1 week away.
Do know for sure
It is
also
sad.
the Steiner brothers are definitely off the wall.
I love that Sting got in full gimmick for this, and Lex is just like, here's my gimmick. Took off his shirt.
Well, the die is cast, and that match will take place on Sunday night, May 19th. Also, on that night, Diamond Dallas Page will be in the Diamond Mine to interview
Gordon's
Lex
tie
Luger
is
and
really
Sting
crooked.
regarding the World Tag Team Championship. Let's listen to Dallas.
That's right. I think Diamond Stud might have debuted on the TV taping before.
It's coming. Diamond Dallas Page deep in the Diamond Mines with the Diamond Dolls. May 19th at the Super Bowl, and my guest will be none other than the man who says he rules the world. Sid Vicious, the most awesome man on the planet today.
Well, there's no telling what's liable to come out of that interview. Now, of course, the match that everybody around the world is talking about.
Around the world.
Showdown between Tatsumi Fujinami,
Are they talking about this in Uganda?
In Japan, and Ric
Where
Flair,
Kamala Jr.
decade
lives.
in the United States. They will meet at Super Brawl 91 at the Bayfront Center, strictly on pay-per-view. The World Heavyweight Championship is indeed on the line. Ric Flair had these statements.
All right, next Sunday it goes down. Super Brawl. The return of the rising sun. That means, Fujinami, that worldwide people will have their eyes on you because you've made the claim.
Because you're sexy.
That you're ready to walk that long, immortal life and become.
I'm Ric Flair, and did you know that for as little as $12 a month, you can protect your apartment?
10,000 people live, millions around the world.
Very fluffy.
Watch it. What we know will be the
Ric Flair's
greatest
George Washington
pay-per-view of all
wig.
time. Luger and Sting against the Steiners, Arn Anderson, and Bobby Eaton for the World Television.
Oh, he's just cutting promos for every match on the show.
And Pillman, think about it. This is big time.
Who will Oz be? What is Oz?
Fujinami, you'll have your opportunity to show the world, and more importantly, to show me that you are ready.
For the most part, I'm opposed to a Ric Flair movie for the reason I don't think anybody could play him. I think Walton Goggins could pull it
No
off.
way. I'm saying to be the man, you gotta beat the
Have you
man.
been in an accident,
And I'm
whiplash
the
on
man.
Space Mountain,
Woo!
slip and fall flat on your face after being punched in the face
that I have been
several
in professional
times?
Wrestling, this is one match that I absolutely will
Call
not
us.
miss. It will take place
At
just
Flair,
1 week
Anderson,
from
and
today. It will
Anderson.
be on Sunday, May 19th. Strictly on pay-per-view.
Strictly.
The Thunderdoom match between Hacksaw Butch Reed and 4-time All-American Ron Simmons.
I need to
World Tag
text
Title,
AJ and
Steiners
pitch that to
against,
him.
Lex Luger and Sting, and
That
of
when he
course,
comes back,
Ric
him and
Flair
QT need to do a
Tatsumi
Thunder Boom
Fujinami for the
match.
world title. Call your local cable operator and order now.
World Championship Wrestling returns to the Civic Center in Hammond, Indiana, with the Super Summer Sizzler Tour.
Sizzler.
5th, 7:30 p.m. at the Civic Center. The main event.
I did.
The U.S. Heavyweight Title match.
My buddy AJ.
Lex Luger against the one-man gang.
Not the name drop or anything, but
At the Civic Center, Wildfire Tommy Rich will be in the ring to clash with Jack Victory. The Young Pistols will take on the Fabulous Freebirds with Big Daddy Dick ringside. Z-Man will enter the ring to take on Oz. And in a cage match,
this was the May 19th that ruined Kane's life. What if Oz came out instead of fake Kane? Yeah, no, AJ and Big Justice are doing a Fortnite streaming. Hi, John, you can call me. Yeah, absolutely. I've been the other Tom Green for all my life.
Championship Wrestling Super Summer Sizzler Tour 91. Have you ever wondered what Oz really looks like? Find out Sunday, May 19th, WCW Super Brawl 91.
Again, I haven't. That's not a hook for a wrestling pay-per-view.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is set for one fall. First from Atlanta, Georgia.
Here we go.
291 pounds, Ron Simmons.
Ron Simmons with his bicep
In the
tape.
ring, his opponent from Gibsonton, Florida, 230 pounds, Mike Steele.
Oh shit, Mike Steele. Oh god. I think Mike Steele might just be a guy out of the crowd. I love the Halloween Havoc theme song. Dun, 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 dun. John, it's on Twitter, asked who's my opinion the greatest wrestler ever. Terry Funk, close second, Bryan Danielson. He's just wearing sweatpants. Oh shit. Oh gosh. Oh no. I don't even think those are his boots. There's no way this guy's a wrestler. I would be too. If I got to the ring and I'm wrestling the guy in the third row. Like, yeah, you can tell Ron's like, I can't do anything with this guy. That's Kid Burns. Oh shit, yeah, he stole Ron's sweats. The Galoob, the reference picture sweats. Oh gosh. At least he knew enough to put his hand on the apron when he got flung out. Oh! Why is he wearing like a karate gi belt with sweats? Like he's the black belt, he's a black belt and sitting in a recliner. Hey Nathan, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I think this dude's gonna be in the next one. This guy fucking rules. I guess this guy's a step to Ron. I just think Randy Anderson's like, let's get this guy through this match. Because he has no idea what he's doing. I love Randy Anderson standing up to Ron Simmons like he's going to do anything. Get off of him, Ron. Like, what is that even? It's leather. But he's tied it like a karate belt. Oh gosh.
I think that Teddy Long has taken a precaution because this man, Ron Simmons, has become full of hate and unpredictable.
Why did that guy go back in the ring? I don't think he knows where he is.
I could be wrong.
Oh god. Oh gosh. His leg went under him. That could have been real bad. I don't know if you all saw, but Ron only had one of his legs. The other one went back behind him for a second. Holy shit. Oh gosh. All right, that's over. Chuck Dillinger's like, Ron, you gotta go back in there. Oh, okay, that was a lot safer than it looked on the other camera angle. Why are we picking the worst camera angle for the replay?
Watch this move. Watch
Gosh.
this.
But yeah. Oh, did you see his foot? That could have been real bad.
Look at the face.
Ron Simmons with a tremendous win. When we
It
come back,
looks like he pissed off Ron.
right after this on Channel 9.
Because he's not. He's clearly either not trained or very badly
Mr. Barry
trained.
Windham and Barry fly. We know the ignorant level of the
Iron Mike Steele is filed under one of the darkest of all Wikipedia categories: people murdered in Florida. Holy shit!
I want to know, and I want to ask you, when are you finally going to get rid of
Barry
the
looks
pain
like
in the neck
a
from
demented
Pillman?
supervillain if the Marvel Universe was based in a Walmart.
I can take care of Pillman at any time that I want to. It's just that I've been a little compassionate with Pillman and letting him go, letting him get off sometimes. Right here in this very ring, in this very building.
You
I've
let
seen his
Brian
brains
Pillman
out
get
before,
off.
But I let him go without sending him to the hospital. But what I want to talk about is on the 19th in St. Petersburg, Pillman and I have a taped fist match. And Pillman, you're nothing but a yellow dog, pal. And I'm going to take care of you.
Oh, foreshadowing.
Because when I get through with you, you're not going to be able to walk. You're going to beg your way to the hospital because that's where you're going to want to be. You may as well just go to the hospital before the match because it's where you're going to end up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put this tape around my fist.
The fuck?
And when we get
Sorry, I'm looking at that Wikipedia entry now. Apparently that man was trained by Boris Malenko. What the fuck? Yeah, that sure does look like him. Yeah, trained by Boris Malenko and Tor Kamada. He was murdered in Tampa, Florida. Tragically, he was killed in a traffic homicide on August 29, 2007. He refused to fight a drunk, belligerent man at a bar. So Steele walked out of the bar and left on his Harley Davidson. The man followed behind him in his work van and rammed Steele's Harley Davidson. The killer was charged with murder and sentenced to life without parole. Oh god, the Iron Mike Foundation was started in his name to raise money for, it just says, children's charity. That is some Florida ass shit. And it ends with his family raising money for, quote, children's charity. I love that pronunciation of Elegante's name, like it's elegance.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following tag team event is set for one fall. Led to the ring by Kevin Sullivan, first from Homestead Street, Chicago, Illinois.
Look at this tag team. Butch Reed and the one-man gang with his leather daddy boss, Kevin Sullivan. Yeah, that Ron Simmons match, I don't think it was quite Joe Thurman, but it was like a 0.8 on the Joe Thurman scale. Brett Wayne and Scott Allen. Okay, these guys, they look devious, but they are actual enhancement guys. Yeah, that's a good point, Brian. This is a four-man gang. One-man gang is not by himself. One-man gang frequently wasn't by himself. He was normally in stables. And at the very least had a manager. So no, he was never a one-man gang. Do you think one-man gang had to learn who King Diamond was? Oh, I thought you meant you actually slept on him. I gotcha. Okay. The expression. I'm like, oh shit, you have a cool story about sleeping on one-man gang. Oh yeah, there are a couple of matches in this era where one-man gang wears a gimp mask to the ring. And Kevin Sullivan, like, unzips the mouth for him. I think he'd be a fun cuddle. He's strong and soft. He'd be a really good big spoon. I definitely think.
That can involve the most serious amount of injury in World Championship Wrestling.
Right to the face now, and you see Kevin Sullivan and Teddy Long together in the corner. It's basically in many.
I love how they clearly told Kevin Sullivan no Satan shit. So he's like, fine, I'll be the biggest fucking pervert this TV show's ever seen. Who would be the little spoon? Me. I would be the little spoon for one man gang if you want. I think Kevin Sullivan would be the little spoon. I think he'd have to be.
I don't know, but Kevin Sullivan's looking worse than the new Chevy Caprice Classic.
That's a pretty dope stable, Nathan. Now you're making me want to time travel.
A pick up here. Hard slam by Butch Reed. And now he wants Brett Wayne back in, and he gets him, and he goes right to a knee.
You think Ron was in the locker room pissed off that they got, like, good wrestlers? And Ron got Iron Mike Steele?
And I tell you, it's going to be a super brawl within super brawl between Butch Reed.
Yeah, real weird tag team here.
And now the one-man gang with a 747.
There we go.
That's all for Brett Wayne, I can tell you that.
That's it. Let me kill this guy while I'm down here.
Sullivan had to control the one-man gang.
Yeah, let me put my sub on his leash. Lock him back up in his chastity gate. We'll get back to the locker room. I'll kind of tickle him between the bars, but I won't let it out. I'm withholding ejaculation from 30 days. That way, the 30th day, you just let one-man gang out of the chastity cage. And yeah, I have no fucking idea how WCW got away with that. I imagine it's like when like a director submits a really fucked up edit of a movie to get like an NC-17 rating, and then they're like, oh, look at that vest. Ooh, Bobby. Ooh, pretty. And when they submit like a fucked up edit to get like an NC-17 rating, that way if they cut like 3 of the worst things, they can bump it down to an R. Jeff Stone. I think Jeff Stone was the guy that followed Mike Steele on that Harley.
For Super Brawl, it was announced just about a month ago, and he'll go up against Arn Anderson, a man he knows quite well in World Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, that was a lot.
You know, beautiful body.
Okay, that was great. Hey man, your shoe's untied. What a great opening to a match. Bobby Eaton's the best.
Has to apply to his wrestling ability.
He does look a bit like Scott Nash.
Certainly not his face.
Well, I'm not going to make that comment. However,
Bart
he
with
certainly
black.
suckered Stone out. Had Stone looking at his own boots and then tossed him on the outside.
Well, Bobby Eaton is very good.
But he's a scrapper too, Larry. We talk so much about.
He's a scrapper, Larry.
Bobby, let's talk about how much he can scrap. How much
I think that was Jeff Stone's actual job.
He's a scrapper. He can take
The scrapyard.
The other side of the wrestling coin of
Bobby and Arn was really good too. Yes, that's a good call, Yankee Hawk.
You have to wrestle when you're hurt, and believe
That match is slept on a lot because the Steiners and Sting and Luger's also on that card. But Bobby and Arn, fantastic match. Look at that. Hell yeah. But Bobby rules.
Coming back to the Windy City, so to speak, on Saturday, June 22nd. We'll be at the UIC Pavilion on the 22nd of June on a Saturday night. Tickets, of course, at the UIC Pavilion box office and all Ticketron outlets, including Sears in the Chicagoland area. Bobby now with that hammerlock and working on the head now, Jeff Stone. Showing how a guy who likes to go up top can really slow down the big guy.
Oh, yeah. You know, there's a misconception about big guys. Once you get a big guy down, he's no bigger than anybody.
I didn't see Super Brawl 1 until like 10 years after. We never got that tape at Pat Allen's video store in Roachdale.
Bar that arm. Work on that one body part. Wear the man down.
And I would say that the styles of Bobby and Arn are similar in a way, but I guess Bobby...
Yeah, that's the weird thing about this era. Bobby Eaton's 35 here.
Ring generals.
He's considered an old veteran.
Stone down one more time. It'll be Arn Anderson, beautiful.
Stone down.
Is only on pay-per-view next Sunday, the 19th of May. We start at 6 o'clock Chicago time, 7 o'clock Eastern time. We mentioned to call your local cable systems.
Oh, that's nasty pull right there on Bobby Eaton's part.
Nasty pull.
He's even smirking about it.
Spoken like a guy that spends all of his free time at dive bars.
From behind again now. Going right to that left arm.
Back to the arm.
Nick Patrick looking a little lost without his rope. There's his rope.
Got a handful of hair is what he had.
One strategic point, and he works right on it. Continues with the armbar now. What do you think about
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I think Bobby's like 35 years, like legit.
You've been asking me that about every.
He's been around since the 70s.
Well, you are the expert here.
I am an
Why does it look like Bobby's been crying?
The matches, have come out. There is not an easy match among them. You know, any man can beat any man on a given day. It's one of those.
Yeah, Bobby never let up on those tights after the Midnights. Just more colors and more stars and moons.
Arn Anderson, Bobby Eaton. My money's on Arn Anderson, but Bobby Eaton, basically, in terms of reality, has just as much a chance to win.
We saw the standing clothesline, and now the sweeping neck breaker from beautiful Bobby. He has the big.
All right, I think we're getting an Alabama jam. We're gonna jam.
No, he doesn't have to take this risk from being up here either, Tony. He's going all out.
Oh, there we go.
Bullseye.
You're right.
Nick Patrick couldn't even. You'll see that he didn't even bother touching Bobby's arm, really. It's like, oh, hey, here's Arn in his t-shirt.
Bobby,
What is that Horseman shirt he's wearing?
one last appeal to you before Super Brawl. Now, we've been up and down these roads for years. You're a great.
Like, it looks like his hair like fades into skin.
But now you're reaching for that golden ring, which belongs to me. Be content, Bobby, to be a great tag wrestler.
Ugh.
There's his answer. Beautiful Bobby and Arn Anderson going at it.
Well, there's a sportsmanship of Bobby Eaton. I hope Arn Anderson knocks his block off for that.
Yeah, next year these two would be tag champs. The year after they'd start feuding again. Oh shit!
What a match it's going to be at Super Brawl. It'll be for the World TV title, and we'll be back after this.
That's way more exciting than the Fujinami thing.
Returns to the Civic Center in Hammond, Indiana, with the
Hammond, Indiana.
World Tour 91. It's Wednesday, June 5th, 7:30 p.m. at the Civic Center. The main event, the U.S. heavyweight title match.
Again, what a shitty card.
Against the one-man gang.
Lex Luger.
Civic Center. Wildfire.
Wildfire.
With Jack Victory.
How's it on this?
Will take on the fabulous Reavers with Big Daddy Dick ringside. Z-Man will enter the
Hammond,
ring.
Indiana's the thinking man,
And in a
Skokie.
cage match, Ron Simmons will battle Butch Reed. And don't forget about the main event, the U.S. heavyweight title match, the total package against the one-man gang. Wednesday, June 5th, 7:30 p.m. at the Civic Center.
God,
in
could you imagine the
Hammond,
poor
Indiana.
contestants on a Bobby
Great
Eaton
tickets
game
at the
show?
Civic Center in Hammond. Be there at
First
7:30.
question.
Championship Wrestling
What?
Super Summer Sizzler.
Man, you know what I mean?
Have you ever wondered what Oz?
Seriously, they are pushing this Oz shit.
WCW Super Brawl 91 only on pay-per-view.
Son of a bitch. I'll never forget as long as I live Bobby yelling son of a bitch. It's a great moment we all shared. His opponents.
From Las Vegas, Nevada, 229 pounds.
Oh, Ian Weston, the guy who tried to fight Vader. Yeah.
Boy, what a brawl beautiful Bobby and Arn Anderson had at the conclusion of Bobby and Jeff Stone's match. By the way, Super Brawl, as you just saw, is available only on pay-per-view Sunday, May 19th. That is next Sunday.
Like, what is up with the cut of his singlet?
7 o'clock Eastern time. Want you to be a part of it. Nikita Koloff is Wildfire, Tommy Rich. But one thing on his mind is this.
Yeah, I did a short about it. Ian Weston in 1995. At a Saturday night taping at Center Stage, he was booked against Vader, and for some reason he tried to fight him in the ring. Like, he tried to jump him. And Vader puts him at a neck crank and, like, front face locks him into the corner. He's like, are you fucking done yet?
Announcements will be made for World Championship Wrestling, maybe next week.
That's the problem with Nick Patrick. He's always in the fucking way.
Based on that U.S. title match that we have seen.
Well, I tell you, Nikita Koloff is looking lean, mean, and hungry. It seems that the worse the whole national economy and virtual collapse of Russia goes, the more outlandish and crazed this man gets.
Oh, that's Randy Anderson. That's not Nick Patrick.
I mean, he must hate Lex Luger's guts for what he stands for in this country. Just my personal opinion from what I see. I think he hates every American.
Look at those traps.
Right,
That's like
I'm not so sure if it's
not
that.
even
He
human.
says he's from Lithuania, Larry. I think maybe it's just his desire.
Owen, thank you for the sub. Crap. A lot of subs tonight. I'm loving the subs. Loving the subs.
But, take a look at the man's eyes. Look at the man's physique. His mind is on Lex Luger.
Oh, there we go.
And he got him good. Right.
Russian sequel.
Did he ever? It was on top.
1, 2, and 3.
With the Russian sickle. Got rid of
God, that
Ian
was
Weston in a hurry.
hot stuff.
And even though it's wildfire Tommy Ritchie has in Super Brawl, of course, he and Lex Luger.
Yeah, I love that he's been feuding with Sting for almost 3 months, and his pay-per-view matches with fucking Tommy Rich. And they weren't doing the matches at the house shows, so it's not like they were spoiling anything by not doing it at the pay-per-view.
Nikita Koloff has a match with Wildfire Tommy Rich in 1 week during Super Brawl.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind Nikita Koloff's going to walk all over Tommy Rich. But about this obnoxious idiot, Brian Pillman, if he runs in on one more Larry Legend segment, I'm going to pop the kid myself.
What about Larry Legend for next week?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you.
The kid, Larry's like
Big Josh
40.
for Super Brawl. Well, next week I got a surprise for you, Mr. Brickhouse.
Let's end now.
Oh shit, he's going to fight Jack Brickhouse.
Larry's Legends just moments ago.
And when we get in that
Yeah,
ring,
let's replay the interview segment from 20 minutes ago for the match that goes 3 minutes on the pay-per-view. Yeah, wrestling's not great about geography. All right, before we go to our final episode for the night, no stream on Sunday, taking Sunday off. Here's what we'll be watching next Tuesday on Twitch.
Lance Russell, when me and my brother were growing up as kids, we had nothing. We didn't have the toys that other kids had to play with. We didn't do the things that other kids did.
All right, so that is next.
Everyone, I'm Tony Schiavone.
Definitely, I don't think you will.
This Saturday morning right here on Channel 9. We have a tremendous program for you. As you know, tomorrow night is the night we've all been waiting for. Super Brawl.
I'll tell Scott that his social media sucks.
7 o'clock Eastern time.
Horrible Twitter account.
Chicago time on cable systems all across the country. Call
Larry
the order.
Zbyszko dressed like a
Super Brawl. Of
couch.
course, one of the men in Super Brawl will be Big Josh. He'll be in action this week. And, of course, Big Josh will be going up against Larry Zbyszko at Super Brawl.
You know something,
A match that has nothing to do with anything. No stream this Sunday. I'm taking Sunday off.
Now we got Jack
I'll be back with Off the Grid in 2 weeks, and then Not Quite Wrestling for the YouTube members in 3 weeks.
Mr. Brickhouse and your broadcasting expertise will appreciate. Today on Larry Z's Legends, I'm going to talk to my opponent, Big Josh.
Well, we look forward to that. Nature Boy Ric Flair in action also, fans. Right now, though, let's go to the ring.
From Detroit, Michigan, at a combined weight of 569 pounds, the world.
Sorry, just making sure the timeline worked for that. Not Quite Wrestling might be on a different day than a Sunday this month. Though I just looked at the calendar and I think that day's an AEW pay-per-view. Diamond Dave Johnson and Mike Maverick. Shit. Oh gosh, this is a good team. Great team to put against the Steiner brothers. Larry has a collection of pet ferrets on his boat.
The Super Brawl has finally arrived this Sunday. What's time to have, Stinger? Well, it's time to throw the friendships aside. That doesn't mean that we're going to fight dirty. All it means is we're serious when it comes to winning. That's what we're doing.
Serious.
Woo!
Diamond Dave Johnson may be a Make-A-Wish kid. Yeah, Lex is like, your t-shirts are too tight, Billy.
Gordon Soley in the Super Brawl Control Center a little bit later on this week on WGN. We'll take another special look at that big build-up for that match. It is going to be tremendous.
All right.
The Steiners against Lex.
Buddy Lindell and Al Perez defeated the Fabulous Ones on this day in Tri-State.
6 o'clock Chicago, 7 o'clock Eastern time.
The Steiners here, Tony. I like to watch the Steiners. I don't have very much
I can see that. He looks a bit like old Rad Radford.
You have to appreciate their wrestling because they are so unorthodox. The moves that they hit opponents with from the
Yeah, that's a great
positions
tag
that
match.
they put them in
Definitely.
are really phenomenal. I mean, they really high-tech some basic moves into devastating maneuvers.
God, those
Not to
yellow
mention,
boots.
especially
Ugh.
Rick Steiner here, he's goofy. I mean, the man
He's
nuts. That's
goofy.
what makes him dangerous. Watch this.
Oh, gosh.
Good super.
Standing belly to belly.
Oh, I think Mike Maverick's about to die.
Maverick as he comes in, butterfly hook right here. May go over the top, no. Puts
Oh.
him in a power bomb from the butterfly position, and now he'll tag his brother, Rick Steiner.
Oh, they're already going for the finish.
Premier moves is off at the top of that bulldog, and here it comes.
Wow, they didn't really do a whole lot to these guys.
I wonder if Sting or Lex Luger could get up.
Wow, I'm
on that
surprised.
That's a good question, and we'll find out tomorrow night.
The winners of
Like
the
a-
match, the Steiner brothers.
The Steiner.
It's like a house show squash.
Against two men they had considered their friends, but you hear them talk, both teams. They're going to throw fringes
Diamond
aside.
Dave and Mike Maverick must have, like, paid them off in the locker room. Great replay. You don't see anything.
Not only Johnson, but the
Look,
cameraman.
the cameraman went flash. I mean, these Steiner's unorthodox, but deadly brutal. Look at Rick Steiner up here on the top rope. Look at his eyes.
I was actually thinking the opposite, Doc. Some of the squashes on the last show went, like, way too long.
That chin goes up. That snaps the neck backward.
Ba-dum-ba-dum.
And needless to say, that man's in Larry land, brother.
The Steiners away.
Oh, no. Doug Dellinger in the background doing nothing. World Championship Wrestling. Coming for the Super Summer Sizzler Saggy Tour.
In Hammond, Indiana, Wednesday night, June 5th, 7:30 p.m. to start the main event. That Wednesday night at the
That
Center,
Wednesday
a
night.
US heavyweight title match featuring the total package. Lex Luger against Barry Windham.
I was not paying enough
Also on the
attention.
card that Wednesday night,
But I don't think it counts. I don't think it matters in the Steiner Brothers match. Oh shit, they added a good match.
Teddy Long will be ringside for
They added like a
that match.
worthwhile match to
And don't
that
forget about the
show.
main event.
Oh shit, they made the main event better.
Featuring the total package. Lex Luger against
Lex
Barry Windham.
Luger.
Great tickets still available, and you can purchase those great tickets at the box office. You'll want to do
Ben
so because
Allwright was
Wednesday,
great
June
at
5th,
wrestling
the Civic Center
voiceovers.
will be the site for a night full of world
Already
championship
tagged after the
wrestling.
butterfly power bomb. The old Tiger Driver.
Have you ever wondered what Oz really looks like? Find out Sunday, May 19th, WCW Super Brawl 91, only on pay-per-view.
This Sunday. What the fuck does that mean? Maybe the pay-per-view will be this Sunday. We don't know. We might just show up Tuesday afternoon. Start broadcasting.
Yeah, this is Dusty Rhodes via American Dream. We're going to talk about Super Brawl 91 today, live and in color. I've been asked to kind of talk about a couple of the big matches because this is the biggest pay-per-view event in the history of wrestling throughout the world.
They clearly were short on content this week. And somebody called Dusty up in his office. Hey, can you just like fill 3 minutes?
Cleaned in public, if you will, that he
I think it was Kevin Sullivan yelling "Welcome to Oz." I think it was.
WCW live and in color, the Nature Boy Ric Flair is gunning down now because on his own turf.
Shout out to my SSRI gang. Gonna take my medicine
Prove to the world that he's the best. So if I'm gonna make
so that I can sleep after we're done tonight.
Didn't take long. Nature Boy Ric Flair by a landslide. And then the match that has created the most controversy
It
throughout
totally
the
sounded like
world.
somebody opened a
World
beer
Tag Team
can.
title, the Steiners mean as
In
dog.
the background.
I'm talking about ugly. And we're talking about the cool
A filibuster.
Lex Luger and the sensational Stinger. Well, baby, when they lay this one out, it's
Oh, yeah,
in
Dusty,
the words of Armando
had a
Gun
late
Sule,
night.
A barn burner, a super brawl.
Yeah, no, I don't need
And when
water
it's
for
all
that
over, I
shit.
got to pick a winner. Let me
Yeah, I
tell
got a
you.
big old loose throat.
This might take just a little bit longer. Oh, yes, I got it. But I ain't going to tell you. Because that makes me bad. But I think
'Cause that makes me
I
bad.
think Sting might have the edge just a little. I think Luger might have. Anyway,
I think I'm gonna say that at work
it's
tomorrow.
gonna be big. And my
When we
son,
have our
Dusty
morning
Rhodes,
meeting.
I tell you, he is the
And they asked me
specific
for an update on what I'm doing. I'll just
American
go.
dream.
I ain't gonna tell you, because that makes me mad.
Inside doing some color commentating, be talking my jaws and flapping. If he lets me down, I'm taking him out to the barn and booting him in the butt right before Super Brawl.
Did he just type that he's gonna beat up Tony Schiavone?
First from Venice Beach, California, 250 pounds, Sting!
Put in the butt. All right, another Sting and Luger squash. Like, it genuinely looks like they just made them go back to the locker room and come back out. You do your students when they... Oh shit, Hacksaw Higgins. Hell yeah. He's great. We've watched him before. He's dope. Bow, bow. Nick Patrick is furious because everybody's touching the ropes. Alright, Stephen J. Neptune, man, this day in history. The Lakers beat the Trailblazers in Game 1 of the NBA Final, or the Western Conference Finals. Baseball, the Mariners defeated the New York Yankees. Number one movie in America was What About Bob? Number one song in America was I Like the Way from Kissing Game by High Five.
Brothers. I mean, they're a natural tag team. They've been raised since childhood together. They know each other left and right.
Yes, Mark Kyle does look like a jacked up Sacha Baron Cohen. Mark Kyle, who, as we've discussed before, despite what I thought in an early stream, did not murder a bunch of people in a bank. Not a murderer.
Fans, we want to remind you that it is available only on pay-per-view and World Championship Wrestling.
Personally, I don't care who wins. The four of them can beat each other to a pulp.
And that could happen.
God, how do you have Hacksaw Higgins in your locker room and not be like, oh, that's not cool, Lightning Smog. Not cool. But how do you have Hacksaw Higgins in your locker room and not want to push him as a top guy? I have fun at Dynamite. I like going to AEW shows. I have a lot of fun when I take my son to AEW. They can just announce a women's four-way eliminator match. That looks pretty fun. And hopefully Toni Storm cuts another promo afterwards. She has lost her fucking mind, and I am here for it. Holy shit. Brian dropping knowledge on High Five. Two of the original members are dead, and a third was charged with murdering his wife. Balls Mahoney's giant, muscular dad. Don't be sorry. Hey. Hey, he got a kick out of that wrestling segment. Yeah, I remember that. No, don't apologize. Yeah, I have high hopes for that 2300 Arena residency AEW's doing. Again, I hope they avoid ECW nostalgia as much as possible. Just kind of make it their own thing. Yeah, could you imagine if King of Trios was still around, or was, like, if Quack had, like, good taste in wrestling, and he booked Hacksaw Higgins, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and Hacksaw Butch Reed for King of Trios? I have no fucking idea why Tony's never booked Too Cold Scorpio. That's insane to me. He's been available the whole time AEW's been open. Even as like a one-off on Ring of Honor or Dark.
I will defend the World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship
Saws of
to the
Hat.
best of my ability, because you see, Tatsumi Fujinami, the great.
I know Rhino's going to be on the Detroit shows. Maybe he'll be on the 2300 Arena shows. Yeah, Too Cold can totally still go. Last time I saw him wrestle was like
This Sunday.
right before he stabbed that dude.
That long,
It was a hell of a match.
impossible aisle.
And he still does most of what he used to.
When you walk into that ring, you'll be facing Ric Flair. Woo!
Ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen,
wow, Rick's wrestling.
Charlotte, North Carolina,
Yeah, Rick has nothing to say.
He's the WCW
They completely made up a storyline for this cold-ass match. Yeah, I don't think I've seen him since, but I knew that he has wrestled since the stabbing. I think that got dropped. He's not jumping Johnny Rich. That's Joey Maggs' thing. Yes, very Blanche. Very Blanche. What did I say? Blanche? It's Blanche. Yeah, it's crazy. Scorpio only had one Ring of Honor match ever. And it was only because they flew him in to do a shoot interview. Like, that's just insane to me. Jerk off Johnny Rich. Johnny Rich, a.k.a. The Medic.
Japan has produced in the last 100 years, and I'm talking 100 years, a very, very good accomplished wrestler.
Just happy to be here.
On the other hand, jumping
Every once in a while, they would, like, let Johnny Rich do some moves because he's Tommy Rich's cousin, what they would say. Yeah, Ian used Scorpio way better. A lot of folks did.
Legend of the sport, and that's why the Rising Sun is going to mean so much, because you've got two of the greatest halfway around the world, baby.
Leg takedown.
Yeah, definitely not jumping Jeff Farmer. Nope. Wait, what? Hey, world champion, can I do your finishing move to you in this TV squash match? And Rick's like, yeah, sure, go for it. What happened? That'd be like if Hulk Hogan wrestled Iron Mike Sharp. And Mike Sharp's like, hey, can I give you a big boot and leg drop? And Hulk's like, sure, brother. Look at these dorks in the front row. Yeah, Rick. Do some work rate. Yeah, a rare rope break on one of these shows. Yes, this is that era. Wanted him to be Spartacus.
Tatsumi Fujinami will travel 8,000 miles to be to St. Petersburg tomorrow night. That's where the
And I would fly 8,000 miles to have a decent but very cold match with Ric Flair on Super Brawl 1.
They both had tremendous endurance. Flair has the mean streak, though.
Pay-per-view
Of course, Fujinami is going to.
tonight.
I would think Fujinami will approach this match much differently than he did the one in March against Flair.
Well, I think Fujinami is a lot wiser to the ways of Ric Flair now, and we're going to see a different tattoo.
Thank you, goes to Burt
Fujinami
Prentice.
in the ring at Super Brawl.
Or
You can
Nathan.
bet that with all
And why did it
the
mix up your guys'
referees
names?
make,
Yeah, created Ric Flair, the original bassist for Green Day.
hours and hours of Ric Flair.
Yeah, could you imagine Fujinami landing just outside of Tampa, being like, this is America?
USA against Japan, but Flair will tell you it's
Yeah, Flair had a habit of just letting the enhancement guys beat his ass.
Wrestling fans can think whatever they want, but the bottom line
That's because they would let Ric Flair pick his opponents. So he'd wrestle George South and Mike Jackson and all these guys he respected. And he'd want to like have real matches to them, with them, to them too. I would hope Tatsumi Fujinami went to Disney.
Johnny Rich trying to get up and Flair now. Hooks him vertically. Suplex coming
Hooks
here.
him vertically.
Flair knew just when to drop him down. And now Flair apparently is ready for his own figure four leg lock on Rich.
He feels he had him.
Oh, he stole Johnny Rich's figure four leg lock.
Now, and jumping Johnny Rich isn't near the ropes like Flair was earlier. The secret of positioning.
He's not only near the ropes, he's holding the ropes.
I didn't see that.
Well, Randy Anderson sees it now.
Randy Anderson just let him hold the ropes. and gave him the match anyway.
He had called for the bell. And then he saw the ropes. Flair wins
That his hair is bugging him so much. He kept doing this all match. That bit that's hanging down bugs the shit out of him. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's embarrassing for Johnny Rich to lose to his own move. Yeah, the Ric Flair Jim Powers match is like 80% Jim Powers. I remember that. I know what you're talking about, Brian. Oh shit, Jack Brickhouse. Here we go. Wow, where is he? I swear to God, if the guy who taped this edited out Jack Brickhouse, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Wednesday night, June 5th, 7:30 p.m. to start the main event. That Wednesday night at the Civic Center, a U.S. heavyweight title match featuring the total package. Lex Luger against Barry Windham.
Yeah, they changed his music. His music fucking sucked. Oz the Great Wizard. Did he wrestle the boss? Man, he's big?
Teddy Long will be ringside for that cage match. And don't forget about the main event, a U.S. heavyweight title
PWI Indianapolis replay video here.
Great tickets still available, and you can purchase.
I love that how they wrote the managers in the graphic, like when Meltzer used to put people's real names in the Observer.
Full of World Championship Wrestling. Have you ever wondered what Oz
Stop asking me.
Find out Sunday, May 19th, WCW Super Brawl 91, only on pay-per-view.
I remember when I took again this Sunday. I remember when I took an advertising class in college. And the professor was like one of the number one rules of writing ad copy, don't ask questions. Because if the answer's no, then people will just tune out of your ad. Nathan, we watched 2 hours of it on Sunday, bud. We missed ya. We even had Diamond Dan Garza in the chat answering questions. It was a blast. Go back and watch it on YouTube. Oh shit! Mike Steele got another match. Why? How did he survive the last one? Oh shit! He has new sweatpants. He's the Macho Man Randy Savage of lazy fucking drunks. The trees and how much John Tolos hated Cubans. Yeah, I'm blown away. He found a new pair of sweatpants. But he still has his karate belt. Oh, fuck. Yeah, that was so much fun when Diamond Dan popped in. And I'm glad he was cool about it, because some folks could have thought we were being assholes. But like I told him, we were doing it all out of love. It was a blast. If you've not seen Off the Grid on Sunday, go back and watch it. Oh, shit! I love the log roll. Because Matt Bourne's like, I'm going to actually incorporate logging into my wrestling style. In practical ways.
Brains versus brawn. Fortunately for me, I have the brawn
also.
So my brains and my brawns against his brawn is going to do him in.
Oh, right on his... At least Big Josh had some mercy on this dude. Like if Michael McDonald was a hillbilly.
All right, Big Josh, your winner. Tomorrow night's big event of Super Brawl, and we go to the Super Brawl Control Center with Gordon Solie.
I love that, like, whenever somebody would ask Diamond Dan about the status of a PWI wrestler, he would just be like, yeah, they died. Like 3 or 4 guys in a row, he's like, yeah, they're dead now.
Exclusively on
Like,
pay-per-view.
bring down the mood.
Call your cable operator now and place your order at this time.
Yeah, that was Steele's reward for helping Big Josh study for being a guy who lives in the woods. Let him have a match.
It'll be Ricky Morton facing Dangerous Dan
Because it was the Northern Exposure, because that's the name of a TV show. And apparently Northern Exposure sounds like a butt thing.
New U.S. Tag Team Champions. Former world champion Tommy Wildfire Rich
God,
takes on Nikita Koloff.
Tommy Rich
In a
looks
computer
like
match, it'll be
the
Terrence
most
Taylor,
righteous
Youth
gemstone.
Foundation against the Natural, Dustin Rhodes. Beautiful Bobby in a return television championship match
You
against
sure you got that camera on,
then in
man?
a taped fist match with no disqualification.
Yeah, these are all just
Brian
screen grabs from
faces
promos.
Barry Windham. We'll also have a special
They
diamond
did,
mark
yes.
for
This
Diamond
is
Dallas
the
Page in
opening
a
menu
danger
from
zone
WCW
with the Paul
Super
B.
Bowl.
Dangerously in a stretcher match.
You
The
would
Battle
think
of
it would
the
be
Giants,
Southern
El
exposure.
Higami, 7'7" against Sid Vicious. And then the World Tag Team Championship goes on the line. Lex Luger and Sting, the #1 contenders, facing the Steiner brothers
Tommy Rich's
for the World
team
Tag Team
just-
Championship. And then in Thunderdome 91, a lights-out steel cage match. Butch Reed
By the way,
Ron
I
Simmons.
thought Jim
Eddie
Stone
Long will be
stuck the
suspended
landing on
above the
Sunday.
ring
That
in
was
a
fucking
small steel
awesome.
cage to make sure there is no interference. And finally, the return from the rising
Cannot
sun.
wait for what Danny
Tatsumi
McBride does
Fujinami,
next.
the world Japanese champion, facing
The World
Flair
Japanese
Championship
champion.
Heavyweight Championship.
How
It's
can
going
you
to
be
a
the world
fantastic
champion
night
of
competition.
Japan?
May I suggest you call and place your order now
Those are
exclusively on pay-per-view.
two different
We're going to hear
things,
some comments
one of
now
which
from the
is
York
inside of the
Foundation
other.
and, from the natural Dustin Rhodes.
Computer match at Super Brawl. We know exactly how long
Yeah, what
it's
the
going
fuck
to
is a
take to
computer
beat Dustin
match?
Rhodes, but we're not ready to divulge that information just yet.
And Dustin Rhodes, I can't wait to get my hands on you. Everybody says rising star, you're going to be a falling star. This the natural Dustin Rhodes, standing 6'5".
Oh, God, he's doing his dad's voice.
And Terry Taylor, me and you.
Stop
now
it,
we're in a
Dustin.
Computer match at Super Brawl 91. You better come ready, pal. 'Cause I'm
Oh my
coming
God,
ready.
they could have just run that match in
Brother, what a
TNM7.
computer match that's going to be with the natural Dustin Rhodes.
Stack all the gimmicks on top of each other so it's like a full page
against
of,
Ric
like-
Flair, the world championship on the line.
like
Remember,
gimmick
once
match?
Again, this is exclusively on pay-per-view. So call your cable operator now and place your order. And another very intriguing match, Lex Luger and Sting facing the
Is it just
Steiners
me
for
or
the
did
World
Gordon
Championship.
dye his
Remember,
hair
these four are good
between
friends.
these
We're going to
segments?
take a special
Looking
look at a
jet
very
black.
special video
I don't know if
of
it's
this
the
match.
finish to get out of it.
Most explosive matches
Sting and Luger
during
couldn't
Super
really
Bowl
do a
tomorrow night
job.
will be the tape
They
fist
couldn't put the
match.
tag
Ryan
belts
Bryan
on
and
them.
Barry Windham, what a match it's going to be. We're going to take you now to 1 week ago, right here on Channel 9.
Yeah, I think
And
that's the
this
strength of that video,
transpired
is it's
on
just
Larry
very...
Legends.
These guys don't
You're
need
not gonna be
fancy
able to walk.
effects or
You're gonna beg your way
lyrics.
to the hospital because that's where
Here
you're
you
gonna
go.
wanna be. You may as well just go to the hospital before the match.
I agree,
Because it's
Wrestling
where you're gonna
Savant.
end up. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this tape around my fist, and when we get in that ring, I'm gonna pound a hole in your.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of the... It's kind of the time. Like, I'll forgive them because... I'll forgive them on that because
From Cincinnati, Ohio,
it kind of feels like somebody edited that in like their spare time. They're like, and whoever was running the TV was like, shit, we need to get that in the TV show.
in the ring, his opponent from the Great Smoky Mountains, 241.
Oh, Jim Corbett. I remember. This guy's. I think Jim Corbett has to go in the next video I do. God, he's creepy. I fucking love it. Bedazzled jean jacket, curly mullet with the mustache, the little. God, he's great. I don't think Corbett had Missy's jacket on.
He's a tremendous athlete. I tell you, the man is.
He's trying to help her get in the men's locker room.
On the side of Barry Windham. I mean, I'm getting irritated at this guy myself. That's twice on my segment, Tony, that this guy has ran out and interfered.
How do I stay focused on uploading to all the platforms at once? I just throw shit on them. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't really have much of a strategy. Other than TikTok, I upload my short form stuff the night before I do everything else. Because for some reason it does way better.
The whole card
But-
is going to be brutal, starting when I take care of Big Josh, when Barry Windham takes care of Pillman, and
To be honest, any success I've had with video online in the last 2 years has been complete fluke. Like, I have a buddy who has done social media and like YouTube stuff for some pretty big players. Like not wrestling, like actual big players on YouTube. And he's like gave me some tips, but otherwise it's like I don't fucking know what I'm doing.
Yes, I will. It was very brutal. Flying Brian, you know, if you get your hands on him the right way at the right time, it's okay, but it's hard to grab him. I mean, the man is there.
I do each one manually because I don't trust services that push them all out altogether. Because something always gets fucked up.
Flying Brian with a tremendous win once again here on the Pro.
Well, here's Flying Brian. I mean, he's basically.
But you know what? I don't feel too bad for Jim Corbett. He still has his van with the carpet on the ground, on the floor.
Flying Brian lived up to his name here, Tony. He came off that turnbuckle and he was up there.
Pussy wagon.
Tear the wind out of Gentleman Jim. Believe me.
Thank you, Yankee Hawk. I appreciate it. I think I'm gonna do one of those long form videos every 3 or 4 weeks. I think that's the plan because the first one did a lot fucking better than I thought. A lot better. Thank you, Wrestling Savant. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. That's a shame, Ryra. I was hoping your Jim Corbett would also be that Jim Corbett. That sucks, Nathan. Thankfully, I don't. I just use my voice, which people hate. I get so many comments about my voice. It's funny. Larry Z is asking to borrow the pussy wagon. Oh yeah, him and Jim Corbett were totally buddies. Wait, they advertised ahead of time that he was bringing the bears, the dancing bears. For those of you who have not seen Super Brawl, Big Josh made an entrance with dancing bears. I had no idea they advertised it. Like that was the selling point of their match. Is he wearing an earpiece? He's wearing an earpiece. Wow. The Bears totally drew better than us. The Bears drew better than Tatsumi Fujinami. Also, I love the guy. I love Larry interviewing his opponent for the pay-per-view. Oh shit, he's brought up Bruno. Is it his miracle ear? Hey, we haven't had any of those commercials tonight, so. That's fucked up. Hey, come close, kids, at the pay-per-view. Come touch my bear. I'm gonna retire your damn bears too. Oh, okay, that was fun. That was worth it. Larry Zbyszko is so pissed off about these dancing bears. Oh, fuck. I thought he was going to brain him with the handle. Oh my god, Tony Storm should totally say she retired. I guarantee you, if Tony Storm started saying she retired Bruno, Larry Zbyszko would get back on YouTube on like Hannibal.tv's channel and like cut promos on her, and it would be so funny. Hannibal.tv.
His opponent in the ring from New York City, 231 pounds,
Doug Vines. Doug Vines is like Mike Steele before all the shit happened. I did hear about Duke the Dumpster Drosy. That man is trash, ironically enough. Fuck Mike Drosy. Those of you who don't know, Duke the Dumpster Drosy was arrested for trying to get kiddie porn on the dark web, which is insane. It's an insane sentence. Hannibal.tv.
Well, we saw just last week here on the Pro.
Me, Hannibal. I am interviewing Doug Vines, former WCW enhancement wrestler. Doug Vines, first question about your career. What do you think about Kevin Steen embarrassing the wrestling industry by wearing a t-shirt on WWE television?
But now he has signed a computer match to show that the Bulldog is bigger than the computer.
Yeah, he's fucking, like, would you expect smart, like a smart wrestler to be on the dark web.
The natural Dustin Rhodes with a tremendous win. Here on the broad. Well, no, here we go.
Doug Vansky plays Jesus. Sidewalk production for Jesus Christ
Now
Superstar.
Alexandra's got the, well, she's got the microphone.
Mr. Rhodes,
Mr.
this
Rhodes.
is your very last opportunity to become a member of the
Hey, camera operator, stay in one fucking place. I love the cop in the background.
contract that is more
He's like, yeah, I'll beat these wrestlers' asses.
any professional athlete has ever seen. I want you to take it, sign it, and when you do, you'll be a member of the most exclusive, prestigious foundation in all of wrestling.
The most exclusive foundation in wrestling. What are the Hearts? The Hart Foundation's more exclusive. It was only 2 guys.
My goodness.
York Foundation at that time was 3 people.
He's taking the contract. And the York Foundation.
Yeah, Kerry Taylor got money from whatever was going on with the computers at this time. There was no internet.
Dustin Rhodes.
I love how we missed Dust. All the fans are like doing the rip it thing, and then we cut to Alexander York when he rips it. Fuck. Again, this was taped.
Mr. Hughes taking off the coat. Alexandra picked up the contract and shoved it down. She's upset.
Dustopher Rhodes.
Mr. Hughes and Dustin, wait a second.
Would they call him Virgil?
She's pushing his back again.
That's his daddy's name.
The boss taking charge. Look at her. Boy, she is stomping mad.
What was she doing? She was walking back and forth with her head down. Oh no! I mean, I don't like the forced kiss in the angle, but at least they got married after. Am I right?
How about that?
I hate you so much, I'm gonna kiss you on the mouth. Yeah, Mr. Hughes just let him kiss her. Great bodyguard there, buddy. That's awesome, Nathan. That'd be really cool. I think that would be really neat, Nathan. I hope it happens. I cannot wait to see it. I think Mr. Hughes was at the wedding, also not doing anything.
World Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, Terry was a little lady.
Tour 91.
Sizzler
At the Civic
Tour.
Center in Hammond, Indiana. Wednesday night, June 5th, 7:30 p.m. to start. The main event, that Wednesday night at the Civic Center, a U.S. heavyweight title match featuring...
And I cannot believe how much this house show improved in 7 days. Oh shit! Okada versus Kevin Knight tomorrow night. Dynamite. Hopefully Kevin Knight gets him to try.
And don't forget about the main event, a U.S. heavyweight title bout featuring the total...
Yeah, a little icky. That angle was a little icky, a little gross. Does not age well.
At the box office. You'll want to do so because Wednesday, June 5th, the Civic Center will be the site for a night full of World Championship.
Well, somehow less weird than her real life relationship with New Jack,
Have you ever wondered what
where she would like
Find out
gig
Sunday
herself
night,
in public for no
WCW
reason.
Super Brawl 91, only on pay-per-view.
This Sunday. Who knows when it'll be?
Today's program is brought to you by Nintendo.
Yeah, Kevin Knight's fucking awesome. Yeah, New Jack and Terry dated.
Super Brawl, and the contract has been signed.
The coat rack has been signed?
And Tommy Rich.
Why are you drawing on a coat rack, buddy?
World heavyweight champion. You are a great athlete, Tommy Rich. You are still in tremendous shape. But unfortunate for you, Tommy Rich.
No, he's not.
I, Nikita Koloff, am going to have to hit you with Paruski Sabadaha, the Russian sickle, and defeat you at
It's
Super
weird.
Brawl.
This man would be married.
Because, Tommy Rich, I am on a quest. That's right, I am on a quest.
He's married to Mother Russia, don't you know?
Lex Luger forget Nikita Koloff.
Golgar.
Match against the Steiners, but don't forget Nikita Koloff. I will not rest.
That accent is, I have a loogie stuck in my throat, but they won't let me spit it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following six-man tag team.
Oh shit, it's the six-man tag team champions.
Six-man tag team champions.
Yeah.
From North Carolina, the Junkyard Dog. His partner from Nashville,
Again, my theory is they gave the six-man tag belts to the last three guys in the locker room who didn't have a match. The number one contenders, Jeff Sword. Jeff Sword looks like Jim Belushi both got in shape and let himself go.
Both Nikita Koloff and Lex Luger have both been fined as a result of their match for the U.S. title. However, Lex Luger is still the U.S. champion. Also, we want to make mention that we are.
What would the Junkyard Dogs York Foundation name be?
Alexander York about the actions of Dustin Rhodes just recently, and also joining us back here at the
The-
broadcast location, the legend himself, Larry Zbyszko.
The broke down car lot canine?
Idiot thinks he's going to come out and ruin my interview segment and take me, let me tell you something, brother. This guy's got a lot of problems.
Penthouse
Matter of
dog.
fact, if I see,
Wait a minute. Quit looking around and watch
if
the
he
match.
comes out here, I'm going to hit him over the head with this table. Him and his stupid
A
stick.
front porch hound.
Should be outlawed with a stick.
He almost caught you right in the noggin with it. What do you...
Chunkbert
Kind of an idiot laying out
Doggerson.
here in this ring.
But Larry, during Larry Z's Legends, you're...
I always love when Ricky would do that like little twist thing with the hands behind his back.
This
Real
clown is
fancy.
trying to embarrass me. I'm the man that retired legends. I am the legend, and if no one's going to give me respect, they're going to meet my
Courtyard
big Ben.
poodle.
And that's right here,
Well
baby.
landscaped yard canine.
Tomorrow night, only on pay-per-view.
That actually would be if he was just Sylvester Ritter. That would actually be a really good name for the York Foundation. That's a good point.
Starting at 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Only on pay-per-view. Ricky Morton has Danger Stand Spidey.
Gated community.
Tommy Rich, the world six-man tag team champs, and looking good here. I know you're kind of been out of shape right now, but please be an analyst once again.
Who cares?
They should have called this team These Guys Do Drugs Together.
Of his life.
Look at that move.
Wait, he fucking won with the head scissors? What?
All right, Larry, as an
I mean, that's awesome. I love that version of the head scissors. But I don't think anybody ever had won a match with it
Everybody can
before.
tell by the interview that this big jerk is just a complete imbecile. He's like trying to make my interview segment look bad, and I'm not going to tolerate it.
What are you looking for out there anyway?
I'm looking for Big Josh. Are you
The go home
Looking for us next week.
episode,
We'll be coming to you
final
from
seconds of this show before the pay-per-view.
Hopefully talk to the coaches.
Yeah,
We're
and if
promoting the
it's
Big
that,
Josh
it's the same
match.
thing Big Josh got.
Seriously. If you watch this and you only watch pro, you would think that Big Josh and Larry Zbyszko was the main event of the pay-per-view. And the draw for the pay-per-view is we have a dancing bear. And then they over-delivered and had two dancing bears. Or Oz, yeah, that's a good point. All right, we did it. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me for the last 2 hours and change. Had a lot of fun tonight. And guess what? For the first time in 3 weeks, we didn't have a damn problem with the stream. I think we figured shit out, my friends. I think we're back in action. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Thank you for the hang. Thank you for the fellowship. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting each other. Y'all are great. Erotic Eric Fontaine Fan Club forever, of course. Again, if you have not done so already, check out my first long-form YouTube video. Some WCW jobbers that I love. It's getting a lot of rave reviews, over 10,000 views and counting. I'm pretty proud of that. There'll be more coming in the future. So, as always, before we go, like I always like to say at the end of these, wow, I would love to have you here next Tuesday. And I hope you do show up next Tuesday at 9. I think the most important thing is you just make it to next Tuesday in general. 7 days, all I'm asking, but no life sucks. Trust me, I got it rough, my man, my mins, my boys, my gals, my non-binary pals, and for those who just don't give a fuck. but we're going to do it. You, me, and everyone else here. We're going to do it. We'll make it the next Tuesday. Thank you once again. WCW Deep Cuts Live. My name is Tom. Go to bed.